The fear factor, unleashing your potential through decision making. Welcome to an extraordinary journey of self discovery and transformation. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of human potential, exploring a concept that has the power to revolutionize your life. I'm thrilled to share with you the profound insights I've gained from my recent interview with Denequia Towns-Able, a visionary leader whose wisdom is reshaping the landscape of personal growth and empowerment. Denequia isn't just a successful entrepreneur or a motivational speaker. She's a catalyst for change, a beacon of hope for those who feel trapped by their own hesitations. Her work has touched countless lives, helping people break free from the chains of indecision and step into their true power. Her impact extends far beyond individual success stories. She's creating a ripple effect of positive change that's transforming communities and inspiring a new generation of fearless leaders. Now, let me ask you a question that might make you squirm in your seat a little. What's the biggest fear you've ever faced? Public speaking, heights, maybe the thought of being trapped in an elevator with your chatty neighbor who's obsessed with their cat's Instagram account? Well, hold on to your hats, because I'm about to challenge everything you thought you knew about fear. The biggest fear you'll ever have in life isn't any of those things. It's not even the fear of failure or the fear of success. No, the biggest fear you'll ever face is making a decision. I know. You're probably thinking, come on, how can making a decision be scarier than skydiving or watching a horror or a movie marathon alone in the dark? But stick with me here, because this revelation has the power to completely transform your life. Think about it. How many times have you stood at the crossroads of a life-changing moment, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice? Your heart racing, palms sweating, mind spiraling into an endless loop of what-ifs. It's like being stuck in a mental escape room, but the clock never stops ticking, and the only way out is to make a decision. This paralyzing fear of decision-making is the silent dream killer, the invisible force that keeps us trapped in our comfort zones, watching life pass us by from the sidelines. It's the reason why so many brilliant ideas never see the light of day, why so many potential leaders never step up to the plate, and why so many of us look back on our lives with regret, wondering, what if I had just taken that chance? But here's the kicker. This fear, as overwhelming as it might seem, is also your greatest opportunity for growth and success. It's the doorway to your dreams, the key to unlocking your full potential. And today, we're going to learn how to turn this fear into your superpower. Let me share a story that illustrates just how powerful this concept can be. Meet Sarah, a brilliant software engineer who had always dreamed of starting her own tech company. For years, she had been developing a groundbreaking app on the side, pouring her heart and soul into it. But when it came time to take the leap and launch her business, she froze. The fear of making the wrong decision paralyzed her. What if she quit her stable job and the app failed? What if she wasn't cut out to be an entrepreneur? What if she lost everything? For months, Sarah agonized over the decision, making endless pro and con lists, seeking advice from everyone she knew, and still she couldn't bring herself to make the choice. Then one day, Sarah stumbled upon Denequia's work. She realized that her fear wasn't really about the potential outcomes. It was about the act of deciding itself, the moment of commitment, of saying yes to one path and closing the door on others. That was what terrified her. Armed with this new understanding, Sarah decided to face her fear head on. She made the decision to launch her company, not because she was suddenly free of doubt or anxiety, but because she understood that making the decision was the only way to move forward. And you know what? It wasn't smooth sailing. Sarah faced challenges she never anticipated. There were moments when she questioned everything. But here's the beautiful part. In making that decision, Sarah discovered a strength within herself she never knew existed. She became more resilient, more creative, more determined. Even when things got tough, she never regretted her choice, because she knew that in making the decision, she had already won the biggest battle, the battle against her own fear. Today, Sarah's company is thriving, employing dozens of people and making a real difference in the world. But more importantly, Sarah herself has been transformed. She's no longer paralyzed by indecision. She's become a confident leader, ready to face whatever challenges come her way. This is the transformative power of embracing decision-making that Denequia wants us all to understand. It's not about always making the right choice, because let's face it, we can't predict the future. It's about making a choice and then committing to making it the right one through our actions and attitudes. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's great for Sarah, but my situation is different. I've been burned before. I've made bad decisions in the past. How can I trust myself to make the right choice now? I hear you, and that's exactly why Denequia's insights are so powerful. Because she understands that the fear of decision making becomes even more intense when you've experienced failure or trauma. The fear of making the wrong choice can feel overwhelming when you're already feeling vulnerable. But here's the thing, and pay close attention because this is crucial. Your past decisions don't define your future ones. Every new decision is an opportunity to write a new chapter in your story. And the more decisions you make, the better you get at it. It's like a muscle that grows stronger with use. Let me introduce you to Marcus, a small business owner who had hit rock bottom. After a series of poor financial decisions, his first business had failed spectacularly, leaving him in debt and shaking his confidence to the core. For months, Marcus couldn't bring himself to make even the smallest decisions, paralyzed by the fear of repeating his past mistakes. But then Marcus encountered Denequia's teachings. He realized that by avoiding decisions, he was actually making the worst decision of all, the decision to remain stuck. With nothing left to lose, Marcus decided to trust himself again. He started small, making one decision at a time and gradually rebuilding his confidence. Today, Marcus runs a successful consulting firm, helping other small business owners navigate their own challenges. He often says that his past failure was the best thing that ever happened to him, not because it was pleasant, but because it taught him the true value of decisive action. So how do we cultivate this mindset? How do we transform the paralyzing fear of decision-making into a source of strength and growth? Denequia offers 3 powerful strategies that have worked for her and countless others she's mentored. First, embrace the power of positive thinking. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, great, another just think happy thoughts pep talk. But bear with me because this isn't just feel-good fluff. It's a practical tool for overcoming decision paralysis. When we're stuck in fear, our minds tend to fixate on all the potential negative outcomes. We catastrophize, imagining worst-case scenarios that rarely, if ever, come to pass. It's like our brains are stuck in a perpetual showing of disaster movie, the director's cut. Denequia challenges us to flip the script. For every negative what if, force yourself to imagine a positive outcome. What if this decision leads to your big break? What if this is the opportunity you've been waiting for all your life? What if, by making this choice, you inspire others to overcome their own fears? This positive reframing doesn't just make us feel better. It actually expands our perception of what's possible. It opens our minds to opportunities and solutions we might have overlooked when blinded by fear. It's like switching from a black and white TV to a vibrant, high-definition display. Suddenly, you see possibilities you never noticed before. Second, Denequia emphasizes the importance of speaking life into yourself daily. Our internal dialogue shapes our reality more than we often realize. If we constantly tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we can't handle the consequences of our decisions, guess what? We'll prove ourselves right. We become our own worst enemies, the little voice in our head that always says, you can't do it. But if we consciously choose to speak words of affirmation, to remind ourselves of our strengths and past successes, we build the confidence needed to make bold decisions. It's like being your own personal cheerleader, but without the pom-poms and the risk of pulling a muscle trying to do a split. Denequia suggests starting each day with positive affirmations. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am capable of making great decisions. I trust my judgment. I have the strength to handle whatever comes my way. It might feel awkward or silly at first, like you're auditioning for a cheesy self-help infomercial. But stick with it. Over time, these affirmations become beliefs, and beliefs become actions. The third strategy Denequia shares is perhaps the most profound. Let God lead you. Now, before you start thinking I'm about to break into a gospel song, hear me out. Regardless of your personal beliefs, there's a universal truth here about surrendering to a higher purpose or greater wisdom. Too often, we get caught up in our own limited perspective, our own fears and desires. We forget that we're part of something larger than ourselves. It's like trying to navigate a vast ocean by only looking at the waves directly in front of our boat. For Denequia, turning to her faith provides a sense of peace and guidance when facing difficult decisions. It reminds her that she doesn't have to have all the answers, that it's okay to take a leap of faith sometimes. This doesn't mean abdicating responsibility for our choices. Rather, it's about trusting that if we make decisions with integrity and in alignment with our values, things will work out, even if not in the way we initially expected. This approach to decision making, rooted in positivity, self affirmation, and faith, has the power to transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. It's about recognizing that our decisions don't just affect us, they have the potential to create ripples of change that extend far beyond our immediate circle. Take the story of Elena, a high school teacher who had always dreamed of starting a mentorship program for at risk youth in her community. For years, she hesitated, worried about the time commitment, the potential for failure, and whether she was really qualified to make a difference. But after embracing Denequia's principles, Elena made the decision to launch her program. It wasn't easy. There were setbacks and challenges, but Elena persevered, speaking life into her vision every day, focusing on the positive impact she could make and trusting in a purpose greater than herself. Today, Elena's program has helped hundreds of young people stay in school, pursue higher education, and break cycles of poverty and violence. Her decision to act didn't just change her life, it transformed an entire community. This is the ripple effect of decisive action. When we overcome our fear of making decisions, we don't just improve our own lives, we create possibilities for others. We become beacons of hope, living proof that it's possible to face our fears and create meaningful change. Now, I can see some of you squirming in your seats. You're thinking, this all sounds great, but you don't understand. My decisions have real consequences. I can't just leap without looking. And you're absolutely right. I'm not suggesting you make reckless choice or ignore the potential consequences of your actions. What I am suggesting is that you recognize that not making a decision is in itself a decision, and often it's the decision that costs us the most. Every moment you spend paralyzed by indecision is a moment you're not growing, not learning, not moving towards your goals. It's a moment you'll never get back. And let's be honest, the regret of not trying is often far more painful than the disappointment of trying and failing. Think about the most successful, fulfilled people you know. Chances are they're not the ones who always made the right decisions. They're the ones who weren't afraid to make decisions at all. They're the ones who, when faced with uncertainty, chose action over paralysis. They're the ones who, when they made mistakes, viewed them as learning opportunities rather than failures. This is the mindset that Denequia is calling us to adopt. It's a mindset that says, I may not have all the answers, but I have the courage to seek them. I may not always choose perfectly, but I will always choose growth. It's a mindset that recognizes that life isn't about avoiding risk. It's about taking the right risks. It's about understanding that every decision, whether it leads to success or failure, is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become more of who we're meant to be. So here's my challenge to you. In the next week, identify one decision you've been putting off out of fear. It could be something big, like changing careers, or something smaller, like having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, commit to making that decision. Remember Denequia's strategies. Reframe your thoughts positively. Speak life into yourself. And if it aligns with your beliefs, let your faith guide you. Then take the leap. Make the decision. Here's the beautiful thing. The moment you make that decision, you'll feel a shift. The paralyzing fear will give way to a sense of empowerment. You'll remember that you are the author of your own story, the captain of your own ship. And even if things don't work out exactly as you hoped, you'll have gained something invaluable. The knowledge that you have the strength to face your fears and make tough choices. Imagine a world where everyone embraced this mindset, a world where people weren't held back by the fear of making decisions, but propelled forward by the excitement of creating their own destinies. Think of the innovations we'd see, the problems we'd solve, the connections we'd make. That's the world Denequia Towns-Able is working to create. And it's a world we can all contribute to, one decision at a time. So, as we wrap up this journey together, I want you to remember this. The biggest fear you'll ever have in life is making a decision. But it's also your greatest opportunity for growth, for transformation, for becoming the person you're meant to be. Your power lies not in always making the right choice, but in making a choice and then having the courage and determination to see it through. The time for hesitation is over. The time for bold, decisive action is now. What decision will you make today that your future self will thank you for? What step will you take towards the life you've always dreamed of? Remember, Every great journey begins with a single step, or in this case, a single decision. Your destiny is waiting. Where you decide to meet it, the power is in your hands. The choice is yours. Now go out there and decide to be the hero of your own story. The world is waiting for the unique contribution that only you can make. So what are you waiting for? Decide to act, decide to grow, decide to transform. Your adventure begins now.